Hi and welcome back to Motorsport Manager Modders with the Ice Mod. So we've got some sponsors available to us. What was that? Modded. Oh, upfront payment. That's better than that one, obviously. That's the best one, without doubt. Because we're not going to get first place. That is £20 million plus £4 million. Yes, yes. Lovely stuff. We've got other sponsors available to us. So these are 13th and above, 11th above, 11th above. They're all exactly the same, except this one I can do worse. Do we race in the United States at all? We don't. That's unfortunate. Might be able to get Phoenix added next year, possibly, but this will end by then. I would like to have eBay on the side of the car, but I'll take Hilton. I'll take the Hilton. And what's this sponsorship available to us? Wow, we're getting some good sponsorships now. So these are 12 racers. So far right, Samsung, is £10 million overall. The middle one, Dark Dog, which is an energy drink apparently. Never heard of it. Might be an American thing. Don't know. That is 2 lots of 4.2 million, which is 8.4 plus. Oh, pardon me. Plus, I can't remember how much. I think the Sisal Match Point one works out at best. 7 million up front with an extra 4 million. It's 11 million pounds. So we're going to go with Sisal Match Point. So that's another 7 million pound up front. And do you know what I'm going to do? With that 29 million, I'm going to go straight to his headquarters. We're going to upgrade our factory. I'm not even going to think about it. 15 million pounds. We've got 14 million pounds to see us out for the rest of the season, which is more than enough. To the point where I may even just go set budget in next year's car. Fat stacks. Request additional funds. Yeah, we'll take that 1.6. We'll get a bit more money from the chairman because why not? He doesn't like it, but I will take any money I can. So that's good news. We've got a new. Can we upgrade it? I mean, we could go upgrade that. So we've got 100% road car, but I think it's worth. Well, it is worth doing. We will build the staff centre as well because it means our drivers will start improving, and our staff. Driver adaptability, consistency, smoothness, consistency. I mean, telemetry centre would be a good idea actually. Staff centre, fitness, focus. But that's going to improve the staff. Yeah, we're going to go with that one because I want to improve our staff as well. So we've got 2 new buildings that will be here. 14 weeks, 30 weeks. So I don't know if the factory will be here for next season, or at least not the start of the season anyway. But the staff centre certainly will be. Now that is good news for us. It really is. So car repair completed. And I've got a contract proposal with a guy called Giacomo Tossi. Giacomo Tossi. Now, he's a pay driver. And he's better than Thingy. Plus he's 19 and he's got a lot more to offer in the future. So we're going to try and get him in. Because he's a pay driver, he'll end up being about the same amount of money as Gomez at that level. I'm just looking at Gomez. I mean, his smoothness is good, his feedback's good, but everything else, not as good as Tossi. This is our last chance with Tossi, actually. So hopefully he's not a tosser. So, let's go to the mail. I haven't got any new things. So, let's have a look at these guys. So, obviously, we're looking at Tossi. He might say yes, he might say no. He is dumb and he's a modelling tryout. Very mediocre driver. Pascal, very good driver. Budding musician, ambitious, beautiful, nice guy, young gun, passive. He's on 384 grand. He's at Sauber. Don't think he'll join us, will he? Nah, see. It's a shame because I would like him. I would actually quite like him here. 22. He's got potential to be a 5-star driver. His smoothness is good. His feedback good. Fitness good. Everything's good about him. But it's just out of our range. So, have got our brakes finished. I don't know how much more. Oh yes, I forgot about that. We've got 2 sets of brakes because I used the that part, didn't I? Lovely. So we're not going to fit them, but we are going to get their reliability up. So let's get. I mean, I don't think reliability on the engine and the suspension does anything for the following season. So I'm just going to work on there. Obviously, we want to get these up to 100%. I think doing that would be a good shout. Because I would like to use those brakes, because they're better than what we've got by quite a bit. So let's design a new part as well. let's design a gearbox. Now, why would we do that? It's reliability down. Add a random. We'll just take that then, I guess, for now. I would like to get a couple of gearboxes ready for next season. Nothing special, but just, you know, enough. Enough. I don't want to pissing away all of the money we've just got from sponsorships. I don't want to piss it all away. I need some to hang over. But making 2 gearboxes is probably a good idea. Just so, because it is by far the weakest part. So let's have a look at these. Scouting report finish. Dino Morris, low quality. George Russell, average. So, politics. This rule will benefit progressive teams. I've got 2 votes I can use, so I'm going to use 1. I'm going to use 1 and we're going to go vote for. I'm not going to use all my votes. I feel that only this team here who are against it are going to vote against it. I feel like most people are going to go for it. And I quite like this thing. There we go, approved. I shouldn't have even voted. So next season we will be able to use the ERS, which is a fantastic thing. And the next vote, I'm not fucking worried about. I'm going to abstain on it. So if at the start of next season I've got 3 voting points to use, and maybe something I am interested in. Let's go to Dino Morris. Nope. Scouting. George Russell. You're not bad, but nah, not worth it. What are we looking at now? So Giacobbe didn't want to join us because we offered him too little money. Don't want him then, mate. I don't take greedy drivers. So our gearbox has been finished. Always good. Always good. Has been a big increase in performance actually compared to what it was. Now acceleration plus 40, minus 20 reliability. It's 15 to max plus 20. 25 plus 25. So we'll take the 25 to max and the plus 40. Reliability is dog shit though. No, absolute reliability is plus 25. So it's 118, 103, 113. It's got to be that then, surely. Yeah. And that's going to be it for parts for the rest of the season now. I'm not going to worry about building any more parts this season. Just about consolidating and using what we have got. Should we try to get the reliability on that up? It'd be nice to use it. I mean, it's not brilliant, but it would be nice to use it. These are nearly done, so we can take those off on the performance soon. Well, these are quite a way off. Let's get that on that way. So it's 29 days after the race. I should get a little bit of reliability on there. Not enough to use, but just want to get everything we've got ready for next season up to 100%. I'm not investing in the telemetry centre. I've got these coming through. We've got £8 million. We've got, how many races we've got left now? We've got 4 races left, and we're losing £1.8 million a race. That's 3.6, 7.2. So we've got enough money just about to see us into the green following next season. Obviously, we'll gain a bit of money from the team next year. We'll have the money that we put aside for the car for next year. Upcoming vote. In voting in favour of real safety car only in the next vote. Should we take 250 grand? No. No, because I want to hold on to my votes, don't I? I don't want to be forced into voting for something. So, yeah. I'm wondering if I... You know what? Improve parts. So, I'm not going to be able to use this gearbox yet. I'm going to just go smashing into... Can we use those brakes? What brakes do we currently use? So we're currently using these brakes at 63 and 58. Yeah, fuck it, we'll just use these. I mean, they're better, aren't they? Might as well use them. They're not much in it. So we'll take the 13 for above of Hilton, because why not? Parts are where they need to be. But no, we're going to push into... We're going to try and get the performance on those... on the engine and the suspension up to full. And then we'll look at the reliability of everything else. I'll need to get the performance of our best parts up to 100% before the end of the race, before the end of the season, which is one of the other reasons why I don't want to build another gearbox after this one, because I don't think we'll have time to get everything up there, which means everything would be a little bit, well, pointless otherwise. There's no point in spending out the money if you can't get the maximum performance out of it for the start of next season. We've seen how good our engines are going to be, and that'll be what we develop first next season, our engines, because it makes sense to. There we go, these two guys here. Let's get this balance set up. I can't even remember where we are. Are we in Sydney, are we? Is it Sydney? Is it Australia we're in? I should really look at these things. I should really stop and read where we are more often. Let's take this softs again. Set up. So push that into the middle. Get the handling midway. And gear ratio. That's more or less midway. We'll take the softs again. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Sydney, isn't it? Is it? I don't know. I should have looked. I just pushed into these things and just go, yeah, that's it. That'll do. Race trim, 12 laps. Don't give me any of this qualifying trim until we're sorted out for the race, okay? And there we go. Now, it is Sydney. There we go. If you wanted to know how to find out which track you're on after not looking, go to the data center in the top right hand corner. It's Sydney. So I can't remember how we did on this race last season. I don't think it was very well. I need to get the speed up. But hopefully we'll have an improvement. I mean, I think where we're finishing now, where we are in the championship at the minute, for Constructors' Championship, which is 4th, I think that if we were to lose all of the rest of our races, we'd get a 6th place finish, which is above what I was targeting. I was targeting an 8th this season. If we can get a 6th, I'll be happy overall. Don't get me wrong, I'll be happy with a 4th. But I'm not seeing us getting any higher than 6th, just because we're not able to keep up with the parts. Obviously, having the new factory next season will help us massively. We'll be able to develop more parts. It's starting to rain. Fuck me. I mean, don't, because my wife wouldn't like it. And depending on what gender you are and how you look, I might not like it. I don't want to fuck around with new tyres. I do want to get these guys in and have a look at their cars though. So let's get them both in. The water on the track was soaked. I'm not changing to wets or anything. We're going to try and do what we can on these soft tyres. I'm not about that life. Whatever life that is. Half-Life 3. If only, hey? If only Half-Life 3 was a thing. So, obviously, as I said in the previous episode, I am recording this back-to-back, so I don't know how my questions went over. I don't know if we are looking at cancelling the Crusader Kings 2 playthrough and going with like a subscriber-defined playthrough. Like if we're doing, I'd say a joint thing where we've got subscribers in with me, chatting, shooting the shit in something, maybe playing against each other or what. I don't know what's going to happen yet. So, but if you did comment in that video and we got a fairly decent reply, then thank you very, very much. Also, what was the other question we asked about? Oh, should there be a question of the day? I don't know about that one either. So if there was a tacit yes to question of the day, then I'm sorry, there is no question of the day today because, well, I don't know what the answer is. Shall I just do a question of the day anyway? Okay. Question of the day. What is your favourite meat? I'm a bit hungry, you see, so I'm kind of thinking about food. For me, one of my favourite meats is probably venison. There's something about venison I absolutely fucking adore. Plus the fact I can get it relatively cheap helps. And the reason I can get it relatively cheap is because, well, I know some people who know some people that shoot deer. No, I used to go shooting myself. I haven't done it for a long time. I've got nowhere to keep guns. I've got no way of getting a license again either. Not because I've done anything illegal. Just can't afford it. And again, I've got nowhere safe to leave guns. But I do, like I say, have some friends who go shooting a lot. And there's something about freshly sort of sorted venison. It's just delicious. I mean, one of my favourite things ever is a leg of venison I'd done a couple of years back. Now, what I did was... I should be around about the right place, actually. What I did was, I got this leg of venison, and I pricked it with rosemary, as you do. So I pricked it, put a load of rosemary into it. I sat it in red wine for 2 hours. Took it out of the red wine. I reduced the red wine down, chucked this leg of venison in the oven, and reduced this red wine down, made a jus out of it, and fuck me, it was so tasty, it was unreal. That's why I love venison. And do you know what else I quite enjoy? I don't get it often. Don't get it often at all. I can get it at my local butcher if I wanted to. Is kangaroo. I really like kangaroo, and ostrich actually. I really do like kangaroo and ostrich. There are some amazing meats out there, and if you've not tried kangaroo ostrich, I suggest you do. Seriously, I honestly suggest you do. There's nothing strange about it at all. It's just a very, very tasty thing. So we only got level 2 on the race trim and level 1 on the soft tyres. We need to get that downforce sorted out. We've got excellent, great. It's just getting that downforce sorted out for the Forney, ready for the race. We can do that in the first lap of practice, so should be able to work it out. So 5th and 7th fastest overall. Aaron Andrews is back. Good to see that there's no Marcel Desailly this week, or Jonathan Edwards for that matter. I don't know what. Oh, pardon me. It's that cup of tea I had a little while ago. Why do I need to pick that? Seriously. I don't know why I despise Marcel Desailly being in this, but it just seems really bizarre to me that they've got a footballer commentating on Motorsport. It just baffles me massively. I don't know why. Let's go with some softs. We've got a slight increased performance to it. Obviously, we've done his now. No, let's not. Let's go with super softs. It's going to be a better performance increase than 5%. We're not going to mess around with Gomez. Had a little tweak, didn't we, there with the Forney? So hopefully we can get things out. So we're going to send out Gomez straight off. I don't know why I needed to say it like that, but I did. And now we'll send out the Forney. Obviously, what we'll do is our normal thing. Ever since Mad Cheese 4 told me about it, I've kind of liked it. We're going to get this smashed up to speed up. And then we'll bring it back down. Obviously, in the last race, when I was doing my second part of qualifying, I fucked up. The first one was perfect. The second one was cold. So, hopefully we can get another perfect. I mean, life is easier for me with these larger sweet spots, so it should be fine. It's on its way down, and... Good. Or great good. I'll take that. It's better than a kick to the cock, isn't it? I've not said that for a while. A kick to the cock. It is better than a kick to the cock. What the fuck? Okay, let's bring these cunts in. I didn't even see that. I didn't even look at that. Let's bring these fuckers in. We're not even going to do a lap in this. We're going to play it by ear. And then see what happens. I should have been looking at the weather. I was too busy talking about kicking people in the cock. It's a thing. Some people enjoy it. Some people get off on it. Me, not personally. Nah, I like my cock where it is. Now, let's get these guys out on different tyres. So, looks like I might drop down into sort of weather. So let's take them out on inters. I'll say I'm pretty sure it's going to drop down into sort of weather. I don't think it's going to be wet enough for wets by the time we're on our flying lap. So let's get this out full speed pelt. Up to max and then back down to thingy when it gets to that point. So it's actually stopped raining, except the water on the track is really fucking mad. Okay. Part of the reason why I think it's going to be yeah, it's going to go down into sort of weather by the time we get round to it, which is fine by me. I made the right decision there. Overheated, great. Again, better than a kick to the cock. Starting the flying lap. That is fine. Should be able to do better than this here. Should hopefully get up as a third. Especially now. Don't know actually, because I've got in it. We should get ahead of Daly and Fry, let's put it that way. So the water on the track is still about right for us. Deforney setting faster sectors everywhere. Bang! Deforney in fucking first. Gomez in second. So we've got first and second on the grid. We've got pole position. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, we won't stay there for the race. Chances are we'll have a collision on the first corner. We'll have to repair our wings. I'm not bitter about that at all, by the way. The whole getting clipped thing. If you can't tell, not bitter at all. Fucking wankers, they really are. But no, that's good. That's good. We've got fastest. Yeah, pole position. Hell yeah. That's Deforney. I don't know if that's his accent or his voice, but it's my best impression I can do of Deforney, unfortunately. So that's not bad at all. I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. First and second. Won't stay there. But, any news from Jonathan Edwards is back? Why are you back, Jonathan? Why are you back? Talk about motorsport. Why, Jonathan? Why, Jonathan? You can't jump. Right, so it's going to start raining at some point, but it's going to be far too late for us to go out and into, so we won't bother. We'll take the race trim and risk taker, because I think we are going to have to go on it. We'll take race trim and nurse, I think. So car setup. We've got great, excellent. That's fine. I'll deal with that. Let's go attack and overtake. We're going to change these tyres very early on, so I don't mind going out on these super softs. Let's get fuel in. How many laps doing? 24. So let's take 16 on you, and we'll take 17 on you. There we go. We'll stay out on these super softs because I say it won't be long until we have to change. How many laps do you get on the super softs actually before we do that? 9 to 11 should be fine. We'll do our first lap massively fast. So it's Deforney, Gomez, Heidfeld, Engel, and Martin, top 5. Yeah, so like I say, we'll smash out and then yeah. So we'll get Gomez to go back up. We'll try to hold up cars. I like that. I like that. We'll let Deforney head off, and Gomez will try to back up, and it's not worked. So let's just go smash. Losing position straight away. I am not surprised, bro. These guys are so much better than us. It was worth a try. It was worth a try. I think for the first 2 laps, though, we need to really just smash, try and gain a bit of distance between the majority of the pack. I can't remember what would be called in in cycling terms. There's a name for it, but I can't remember what it's called. For the leading group, there is a name, but I can't remember what it's called. I really can't. I wish I did. If you know what it's called, put it in the comments, and I will feel dumb as fuck. So it's up here. It's up here. It begins with either a P or a Q, and I can't remember which it is. It begins with a P, I think. I know it is here. It's on the tip of my tongue, but fuck it. I can't be asked. Gomez down into 8th. Deforney sitting in 3rd. I mean, I'd take it would be nice to get a podium. We still haven't had a podium yet. We're not going to get the podium, but I would love to get a podium. So Gomez up into 7th. No overtaking in Sector 3, so we're going to hold on to 7th just a little bit longer. We're going to have to drop these tyres down to neutral now. We're going to keep pushing on the fuel, of course. Track grip's going to start going down any time soon. We'll bring Deforney in. I want to bring Deforney in first, actually. Who's that? Gomez has crashed. Fuck's sake, Gomez. That's our first crash, is it? This season? Okay, well, we'll just worry about Deforney, I guess. Don't need to worry about bringing him in around other drivers. Makes life easier, I suppose. 3 drivers out. Daly and Najiri. Daly is one of the better drivers. So him being out is good for us. And increases our chances of getting the podium. So, I want to do these tyres up to about lap 6. And then I want to switch. I probably want to switch to Inters. This is looking good here. This is looking nice and tidy. I mean, we're going to drop down the Prost here in a minute, I'm sure, but yeah, there it goes. This is nice. This is nice. We're up in the mix here. PK Jr. is up here. Kind of shows you how this race is going to go, actually. I mean, it's usually apt up here. Stroll is usually up here. Obviously, they didn't do so well in qualifying, which is why they're further back. But still, how's that looking? How wet's that going to get? I don't really want to pull in too early. I don't want to leave it too late. I'm desperate to get these tyres right. I don't want to take Inters if it's going to go really wet. I might end up having to take Inters though, because I don't want to Don't want to risk it on the wets. If it starts getting dry after that, which is going to be around about lap 8, we're desperately going to want to get off those wets, you see. Because it's not until, if it gets a little bit higher than it does in lap 8 at the minute, that's when it's sort of key for the wets. So it gets a little bit wetter. I need to find out. I need to find out what's going to happen. And this is where I need the fucking forecasting center. Everyone's catching up with this pack. Everyone's going to pit soon, so yeah, I think we will have to go inters in a minute. We've still got half a lap to check this out. I think maybe it's going to be wets. I'm just trying to see if I can make out the outline of that next column. I think it's around about the same height. I'm not sure. We're managing okay here. We've got Apton our tail, but should have come in. Should have come in. Fuck. So I left it a little bit long. I'm gonna have to pull back on these tyres to neutral for now. I was desperate to see what that column's gonna do. Right, staying steady. So let's pit. Inters. We'll get all the fuel we need. No, we won't. We'll go 17 laps worth of fuel in total. Pit strategy. We'll go that balanced. Now, because we're doing this, we're going to go push. It's going to be a risk because we could end up crashing. But I need to do it. I need us to keep up with that pact. I need us not to fucking lose out to Apt and Freins, to be honest. If Freins, mate, if you can do the same thing in the last race and collide with someone that's not our team member, then we'll be happy because, well, I need you out of the way. Makes winning this race a lot easier. We are going to pit. It looks like a lot of these drivers are going to pit, actually. No, fuck me. No one did. It's just me and Martin. So, anyone behind us going to pit? I mean, all of these guys, realistically, should be pitting. Not many are, they? So, we're coming out in 12th, or we're going to lose out here? We come out in 12th. That's not bad. We're going to carry on pushing on these tyres because I'm not too sure what's going to happen with the weather. I mean, we're going to have to come in for new tyres at some point. As you can see, actually, it's going to dip down. It's starting to dip down. After that, around about lap 12, it starts going back to being a bit dry. So we are going to have to change tyres at some point. Hopefully, it will maintain a level of wetness, which is what my wife did last night. It was quite good. I shouldn't. But I did. So. So we have popped it back up into 4th. We do have Freins ahead of us on normal soft. Sorry, Martin Rosenqvist quite a way ahead of us in 2nd and 3rd, but it's fine. PK Junior is about 4 seconds behind us. I'm not going to push too hard. I don't want to crash. That gap is closing down though between us and PK Junior. So let's have a look here. Yeah, it's going to dip down. I'd say about lap 14. These tyres are going to be redundant. Keep an eye on it. So that gap between us and PK Junior is down to 2 seconds now. Are you really pushing? Alright, so you're pushing on your driving style, are you? Okay. Well, we'll do the same. It's falling up into 3rd because Freins has finally decided to come in for his new tyres. Probably at the wrong point, to be fair. But never mind. It's fine by me. Where is Freins? Freins came out in 13th. It's fine. And we're quite a way, 9 seconds behind Martin, and nearly 10 seconds behind, well, we're 8 seconds behind Martin. We're nearly 11 seconds behind Rosenqvist. You need to pit for wets? Nah, mate. Nah, I think you're going to deal with it, okay? No one is on wets. And do you know why? Because it's not going to be wet for much longer, you fucking moron. I wish these drivers really wouldn't tell you what to fucking do. It does get on my wick. It really does. By the way, for the people who don't know, getting on your wick, that's a phrase. I think it's only in England. So basically, it's to do with candles, obviously. And so, if something gets on the wick of a candle, it makes the flame sort of splutter, as such. It starts flickering and starts fucking... And that's what getting on your wick is. It gets you annoyed. And it's kind of what candle looks like. It's fucking annoyed. Fucking just can't burn properly. So yeah, that's what it means by it's getting on your wick. Just in case you didn't know. So how are we doing here? We've got a nice 5-second gap between us and PK. Gap between Martin's not getting... See, I don't know, because the gap between us and Resenkvist is getting smaller. It's just very, very fucking slowly. So the gap between us and Martin might be getting smaller as well. Well, Martin's a much better drive though, so I don't really know. Let's have a look at these tyres though. How's everyone else pushing? They're going back to neutral. I need these tyres just to last a little bit longer, so we'll go neutral on these tyres. I want to probably pull out and change these around about lap 15. It's going to get wetter again there though. Look, you can see it starting to peak up again, so it might be worth going back onto another set of inters possibly. I need to look at it. So how's that gap between us and... So our gap is 6 seconds between us and PK. The gap between us and Resenkvist is going down, but the gap between Martin and Resenkvist is going down faster. 11 laps remaining. So if we were to pit now, we could see out the race on one set of tyres, as long as they're not super softs. But it's depending on what happens to this track. Now you can see it's starting to peak back up there, and it's just working out what it's going to do afterwards. Because if it just suddenly goes, whoop, I'm going to go with wets, obviously. But if it looks like it's just going to peak up and then come back down, I'm tempted to just see it out for as long as I can and come back in softs. It looks like it's going back up after that initial one around about lap 18 though. But see, I said before, I like the wet. And this is why, because I do better in the wet than I do in the dry for some reason. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if the AI just doesn't really handle wet weather too well, or what, but I mean, the fact we're doing wets, we seem to be able to work it out. It's just an extra facet of strategy, I think, and it's the kind of strategy I know. I don't know how I know it, I just do. Can't believe, Gomez is crashing out in 18th. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think he means to finish as 18th, but in his first essay, he was the first to crash. So the gap between us and PK Jr. is getting larger, and the gap between us and Resenkvist is getting smaller. Always good. So what are we at? We're at 40% on the tyres. Do we want to come in on this lap, or do we want to push a little bit longer? I think we might want to push a little bit longer, try and get that gap between us and first and second down that little bit more. I mean, we are definitely catching up. We're down to 5 seconds now. 4.5 seconds, 5 seconds between us and those drivers. So being able to push that a little bit more. I want to see what they do. I will go in at the same time as them. So if they go on in this lap, we'll slow this down actually. If they go in, we'll go in. So Resenkvist isn't, Martin isn't either. So we're going to go in on this lap now. So how are we looking? So it's kind of troughing up and troughing back down, isn't it? Alright, fuck it. We're going to take the inters. We'll take enough fuel to see us out. So we want probably 11 laps of fuel with the way we drive. Parts are fine. Take a fast or a balance? We'll take a balance, or do we take a safe? We'll take a safe, because it's saying that our estimated position for both of these is 7th. Doesn't say we'll be excellent close to Marco Engel, battling Joel and Eric Verne on both of them, so we might as well take the safe. I know the fast one is like extra positions, but I don't want to risk it. I want to maximise our chance of getting a podium. I have not got a podium so far in this series, and to get a podium in the second series would be pretty special. Let's get these tyres pushed on, because we've got second in front of us for Resenkvist, and he is going to pit as well. But I'd like to get ahead of him in the pit. I'd like to be ahead of him before we get in the pit. The gap between us and Martin is still getting smaller, down to 4.5 seconds. So I mean, we could still, depending on how these guys do things. See, now Martin's not pitted. Obviously, Resenkvist has. We're going to get overtaken here. We will lose positions. We were expecting that though. But we are coming out in 6th. Oh, just pulling ahead of Evans there. So we are coming out in 6th, which is fantastic. Fucking fantastic. Go push on these tyres, because we know that Prost, Abt, PK and Martin and Verne, who's just behind us, they're all going to have to pit. They're all going to have to pit. We've pitted now, and we've got the right tyres. We've definitely got the right tyres for the rest of this race, apart from maybe that last lap if it dips down too much. But we should be able to see out the entire race on these tyres now. We've got more than enough fuel. So let's have a look at the front three. None of them have gone into pit. No one in the top 4 has gone into pit, weirdly enough. Should be able to catch up with Resenkvist, to be fair. We're only 4 seconds behind him. I'm going to push these tyres a little bit more. I don't want to go mad on them for too long. I do really want them to see us out. We're 35 seconds behind Martin, but he will have to pit on this one. I don't know how long his pit will take. I think it's probably going to take a little bit less than 35 seconds. But we'll see. Might be able to get up to second or third here. He is in the pit now, though. So I will leave things as fast as possible. Second, third, and fourth, or should I say first, second, and third, straight past the pit. Will we pull ahead of him? Will we pull ahead of him? Just got ahead of him. Now I'm going to stay attacking. I'm not overtaking just because I think there's enough in the tyres to see us out, but I'm desperate for a fucking podium. Absolutely fucking desperate. Especially now Gomez has gone out, because we're definitely not going to get points out of Gomez. In fact, it's going to fuck up our overall finishing position for this race, and we need our marketing to go up and up and up. But if we can get a podium, that really will. Plus, he'll get a little bonus for getting a podium. He gets like a small happiness bonus, like a performance bonus, basically. So at PK Jr. and Prost all in the pit. We've gone past them up into second. We do have Martin on our tail. Martin is a very, very fast driver. We're only a second ahead of him, but we're closing down that gap on Rosenqvist by the looks of things. Not very fast, but we are closing it by the looks of things. Gap between us and Martin's getting smaller though. So I don't think we're going to get a first just because of how fast Martin is. But I'm just going to leave this on reds because we've definitely got enough to see us out. If we can get a second, I mean, I'm happy with a third, but if we can get a second, which is where we are at the minute, I'll be very, very happy. Just need to get ahead of Rosenqvist to guarantee that. I say guarantee. It's not going to be a guarantee, but it'll be nice. So, I can't see us staying ahead of Martin. It's just that gap is getting smaller. It's like half a second now. I mean, it popped up to a second there, but it's going to be down to half a second in a minute again. The gap between us and Rosenqvist is getting smaller. Whether we can do that in 2 laps or not, I don't know. It's going to be a hard call. It's going to be a hard task. It's possible. It is possible, I think. I mean, see how close he is. And it's like going up and down between 2.8 and 3.1 and 3.2 now. So maybe he's pulling away a little bit. Us and... Can we try and hold him off? Hold him off. Hold him off. Is that a collision? Oh, fuck. Lost out. But we are 5.5 seconds ahead of Abt. Now, I know Abt's a very fast driver, so might not stay ahead of him. Fingers crossed, though. I mean, that gap is going down very quickly between us and Abt. A bit like how it did with Martin. I mean, the gap between us and Rosenqvist is getting larger again. But we've only got one more lap to do. Can we hold on for third? If we can hold on for third, I'd be so happy. Get the first podium of this series. Not just this season, this series. So we are on the final lap. Come on, mate. You've got more than enough fuel to see you out. You've got more than enough tyre wear to see you out. Let's get it done. Come on. You can take Martin, mate. I believe in you. You're not going to get Rosenqvist. Rosenqvist is going to get the fucking win here. But you can take Martin, honestly. Come on. So that gap between us and Abt is closing down. It's less than 4 seconds now. Come on, get him on the inside. 2 more corners to go, basically. Nah, we're not gonna do it. But we are gonna get a third. That is fantastic. Yes. So we have got a podium for the first time in the entire series. That is just sublime. Especially, I mean, I didn't think we were gonna get any points in this race at all. But the rain came through for us. The rain came through for us. Not Lorraine, but the rain. Oh, that is good news. That is fucking good news. Can we get this last car to finish, please? Who is that? It's Carroll. Carroll, mate, you're holding up the group, please. There we go. You see how quickly they fucking stopped? They're like doing decent speed. Weird. So Rosenqvist first, Martin second, and the Thorny in third. Lovely stuff. That's good reading. That is good reading. I'm happy with that. I'm very fucking happy with that, actually. I'm very fucking happy. So happy I'm going to make myself another cup of tea in a minute. Especially as I've got a bit of a... So, obviously, we came first. Rosenqvist, Martin, the Thorny, Abt, Prost. PK Jr. got the fastest lap. Gomez crashed out. And there he goes. 15 points. 15 points for finishing third. So, the Thorny's sitting in 6th. Gomez sitting in 15th. And we are sitting in 4th. And we've got 23 points difference between us and Nextev. And a 26 point difference between us and BMW. 31 points between us and Mahindra. So we should. I mean, I don't want to say we're going to guarantee it. We're definitely going to finish above Venturi. We should definitely finish above Panasonic, and we should definitely finish above Tech-Guitar. It's just our last few performances here. If we can keep ahead of, I mean, if we can get a 4th place finish, I would be fucking ecstatic. I know I like saying ecstatic, but I do feel that way. No Susie Perry. No Fanny at all, actually. Is that sexist to say that? Might be. Do I care? No. I don't think it's sexist to say, there's no Fanny about. It's not so much. It's not the nicest of compliments in the world, but it's a compliment because, well, Susie Perry is nice. So we came 3rd in that race. That is a big boost for our marketability. His stats are going up quite a bit there. It does get a morale boost, as you can see, for getting on a podium. Our marketability has gone up to 42%, and his happiness is at 91%. That went up 41% because of that. Maybe that 1 million that he gave us was worth it. That was 1.9 million. That just turned out of our fucking bank. Oh. No good, no good. Anyway, that is the end of this episode, ladies and gentlemen. If you have enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe. As I said in the previous episode, and I think every episode, check me out on Twitter. I mostly talk bollocks, but it will give you updates exactly as to when this video comes out, or the next video comes out. Like I say, I've got it so it tweets it out, basically. So if you're sitting on Twitter and you see it come out there, you know, oh, fuck me, Kegman's got another video out. I really like his series. I'll check it out. It's worth doing. Obviously retweet as well if you can. The more people we can get watching this, the more of a potential playthrough that involves other viewers. How to word it? So if we had a pool of 150 people to work with, we could get a decent series out if we were to do a series where it involves you guys. And I would like to do a series that involves you guys. Might even make it like a Twitch stream and then sort of bring it to YouTube. I mean, doing a Twitch stream with you guys would be pretty fucking good. I would like to do that, actually. Get you guys involved in a Twitch stream, and yeah, we'll get it onto YouTube. I would like the idea of that. It's just finding the right game to do so. Anyway, guys, if you have enjoyed the episode, again, like I say, please like and subscribe. Leave me a cheeky comment. Check me out on YouTube. You're already checking me out on YouTube if you're watching this. Check me out on Twitter, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.